Donald by Jeff Coleman. It's so beautiful. Jackie lost herself in the endless expanse of blue. The surface of the ocean rippled forward and back, and she found herself hypnotized, drawn into its mysterious depths and all that lay beyond. She couldn't make out her lover's expression. Indeed, she could make out little of the creature at all, save for a faint shimmer that wavered in the air before her like a mirage. But she liked to imagine he was smiling with her, that, though he was not human, he was capable of perceiving the beauty of the world around them through whatever senses he possessed. After an extended silence, she turned, headed for a large, flat stone that jutted out of a larger cliff face, and sat to watch the sunset beneath the rolling waves. Soon enough, her spectral partner followed. "When I was a child," she said without looking up, "my brothers and I would come here with our parents. They would play volleyball or build sand castles, but I always headed straight for the water." The tides of time began to pull her in, and soon she was drifting, wading through the distant past, through a time when the world had been a simpler place, when the world had been a convenient mosaic of black and white truths. Oh, what she would give to experience those years again, to travel back to childhood in the body as well as in the mind. I used to pretend the water was evil, that I had to swim against its malicious currents while it tried to drown me. I imagined it nearly overpowering me. Only just before I gave out, I'd always spy a secret island in the distance and swim toward it, knowing that was where my quest would end. Jackie sighed, and when she gazed up at the coppery light of the setting sun through her mostly transparent companion, she wondered if he understood. "What do you think, darling? Was I a silly little girl or what?" She blushed like a schoolgirl, but somehow she didn't mind. With Donald, that's what she called him, though she didn't know if he was male or female, or indeed if he was even a gender at all. She felt safe and confident. The relationship was by no means sexual. The magic they shared transcended such banalities, and she disavowed such unfulfilling pleasures long ago. The transparent shimmer edged closer, the darkening light of the sky swimming before her eyes like an ocean in miniature, and her breath caught in her throat. Time slowed, stretched, stopped. No matter how many times Donald tried to communicate with her, no matter how frequent the effort had become over the course of their long and passionate love affair, it was something she could never get used to. He reached out, and the air above her shoulder wavered. Her eyes glazed, and the world around her disappeared. All-consuming darkness. Then, a moment later, a blinding flash of light. The world shattered into a kaleidoscope, cyclone of colors, for which her mind could assign no names. Then slowly, as if requiring considerable effort, the disjoint visions condensed into a comprehensible whole. An ocean, not water, not, in fact, matter of any kind, but an ocean nonetheless. And within, both a part of the ocean and not, a vast and timeless consciousness. And Donald, no longer an invisible ripple of light, but a radiant Goliath, an entire cosmos of thought, dwarfed only by the endless ocean that surrounded him. Pain, sharp and stinging, without explanation, the ocean cast Donald out like a disease, cut off from the vine that had once given him life, he began to shrivel, and the light inside his soul began to dim. Then a girl, a tiny soul, chained to a feeble body of flesh and bone. Yet what she lacked in power, she more than made up for in love. She beheld Donald, whose nature couldn't have been more foreign to her own, at first with curiosity, then acceptance, then at last affection. Donald marveled at this resplendent creature, whose brilliance lit his gray and dismal world like a torch, and as she matured, as her body and mind grew to match the love, ageless wisdom in her soul, they gave themselves to each other. The vision faded first to darkness, then back to the moon and the twilight sky of the beach. Tears streamed down the side of Jackie's face. Donald had never told her the heartbreaking story of his origins, nor of how her love had saved him. "I love you too," she whispered. They sat together until the sky turned black, then headed home.